All right. A few things happened over the weekend. Welcome into Acadiana Sports Show, Schulte Cast, episode 77. We are on the Bourbon Trail. Excuse me if we get directions to where I'm going, because I don't know the directions. So I am in Louisville, Kentucky right now. Okay. So the big news yesterday, and thank you so much for tuning in. I think it's working. Anyone tuning in? Let's see. Some of your destinations have errors. All right. Well, no one tuning in yet because we're late. Oh, so I don't even know if we're on wherever. But okay. Anyway, Kyle DeBarge drafted by the Twins. Got some good pub from the guys yesterday. Interestingly, I guess they're talking about they're talking about his power going to the big leagues, and that would be interesting because he just set a record for the Cajuns. But they did say his only drawback is that he's a little small, and he's 5'7", or 5'9", 170. All right. I mean, that is small, all right, or short. All right. I did find it interesting that they said, he's still going to play short. And, we'll say for the most part that, let me see if I can find it. I'm going to pull over in the parking lot when I get to it, see if I can. Nobody's on it right now. Maybe it's everybody's at work. We are an hour late. I figure I'd get somebody in there. All right, so they still have him at short. The ironic, it's not a coincidence, it would be irony. Or maybe it would be a coincidence. The shortstop for the Minnesota Twins is Carlos Correa. Another famous shortstop that played in Louisiana at LSU, second pick in the draft, moved to third because of Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa just signed a $200 million deal. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. And no one's going to trade him. Potential injury issues, and he's getting older, so he's going to be the shortstop. Now, maybe the opposite happens by the time Debo gets there. Carlos Correa, does the opposite of Derek Jeter, and that, I'll take third. He pulls an A-Rod. All right? I can still go to my left, have issues going to my right. So it would be interesting if that's the case. We're going to pull in here, see if I can get it on the social media. I saw some errors and I didn't know what they were. So excuse me for these close-ups. Let's see, just not. Let's see. The issues more. No. Settings. No. General. Orientation settings are live. Definition. No. All right. I guess we'll just do that. More. Post comment layout stream info. I wasn't going on Twitter. Yeah, let's see if we can figure that out. Okay. A premium account is on Twitter to stream. Oh, did that just change? Wow. That just changed. We all of a sudden need a premium account on Twitter. All right, Elon. You may get me. There you go. So we are on Facebook and on YouTube. Okay. All right. Well, we found that out. Who knew that was the case? All right. We found out the okay. All right. We're off. And so it'll be interesting to see if that all comes to fruition again. And you want to give him, he's older, he's a college kid. I don't think, depends what kind of start he gets off to. I don't think he's going to get to the bigs as quickly as Bregman. I just don't know anything about the Twins outside of Carlos Correa is the shortstop, although he has foot problems like I do. Um, so it'll be interesting to see. I presume Debo is, we'll see how quickly he signs. And I just don't know what the deal is anymore with minor league baseball. He would usually go to maybe short season. He has been off for the better part of, a month and a half anyways, right? They started in the middle of, they finished up first weekend of June. So he got time to rest. I'm sure he took a week, maybe knowing Debo, he probably took a couple of days, if that, and, got right back in the cage and has been practicing ever since. I would presume he'll end up in short season or maybe, low A ball, and, you can move up, right? Dylan Cruz started in A ball last year and moved up. You can overmatch some of these kids that, maybe, were pitching in high school last year. So we'll see what happens there. But congratulations to Kyle DeBarge. Foot was confusing me with what he wrote, but I guess he is the highest rated or highest drafted Raging Cajun, right? Taken with a supplemental pick in between the first and second round. Tremendous, big showing with his family and friends. That was great. I hope he owns a good pair of gloves. He's gonna if he's a hunter, he's gonna need some of that hunting gear to stay warm. In Minnesota, big fishing up there. Obviously, land of 10,000 lakes, isn't that Minnesota? So, good luck to Kyle DeBarge. It is a grind. Okay, here comes the grinding part of it. He may be more used to it. You may be, as a G5 guy, you may be more used to it than a Power 5 guy, right? Power 5 teams, basically are chartering jets, right? And you're all taken care of to the nth degree. Is it William Schmidt? No, not, foregoing the draft and coming to LSU. Someone said, coming to LSU is probably a little bit better than, busting around. Well, he said Altoona, but Altoona would be huge if he was going to Double A for a high school kid, right? That kid was definitely going to short season before he gets smoked around Double A. But he could have been another kid that goes to, short season and then goes to long A because he's much better than the high school kids that he's playing against. So here comes the grind, right? And he'll probably go to Instructs if they still have that. Merge on to 841 cent. And so that'll be fun for and challenging for Debo. So that's huge. I wonder how much that helps the Raging Cajuns in recruiting, right? That you don't have to go to these Power 5 schools to get it to be a first round pick. It's got to help somewhere, right? I will say there were more than a few, shortstops taken. Everybody loves the kid that Pirates took. High school shortstop, big time prospect, has the size. So, we'll see how that goes, right? College guys were taken. There was not a lack of shortstops taken in that first and second round. Little surprised that Tommy White went as low as he did. I mean, you can't tell me that he went that way because of his defense, really? Really? Is that what we're dealing with? Maybe the swing and miss deal. But I'm surprised he went 40th. I guess technically he could come back if he wants to. But I doubt that he will. All right, time for him to get his pro career going. And a guy like Tommy White, right, may be able to mash some of those younger pitchers. Now, he may see some, it is such a different deal. I know we all think that, SEC pitching is lights out, you don't necessarily, you don't necessarily see guys, on Saturday and Sunday pitching in Double A all the time. So we'll see if he makes that adjustment. I think he's going to be one of those guys because he does swing and miss. He's going to have a little bump before he figures it out. All right. I mean, the way Dylan Cruz is playing, he could find himself in the big leagues by the end of the year. Paul Skeens, obviously, starting the All-Star game, right? Like almost on the 1-year anniversary of being pick number 1. That's unheard of. It's unheard of. That also happened. I was actually listening to the Dan Patrick show. I guess that was on Friday, right? And because they wanted to know on Thursday about the no-hitter, and Torey Lovullo, called in and asked him if he wanted to start the All-Star game, or informing him that he was starting the All-Star game, although he did ask him. That was set up. Dan Patrick did a good job. I guess they called Major League Baseball to say, hey, you guys hold the press conference. How are you going about doing this? If you want to do it, something special, he's coming on the show. Torey want to call in and do it. So that was pretty cool to hear that. I don't know if he can win the Cy Young Award. Chris Sale is, and Zach Wheeler having these great seasons. But the Paul Skeens, was it Wyatt Langford? Those guys are the aberration, right? Those, the Alex Bregmans of the world. Even he took I'm not sure a year, but pretty close. Those guys are fast. That is an aberration. Still working? Oh, there the video comes back. All right. I can't turn off the phone in case somebody important calls. I wonder what happens when I do take a phone call. If I do take a phone call. That one I did not need. All right, so we're talking about Kyle DeBarge getting drafted. We'll find out where he is going. He'll probably be assigned here. He'll go to, I think Minnesota is still, they're in Fort Myers, right? That's where their spring training site is. So he'll probably get down there, do a couple of weeks of, they call it extended spring, with all the other draft picks, basically tell them what the culture is of the Twins, right? And then he'll get assigned, right? And usually they want you to get off to a good start. They want you to succeed. That's why they won't send them to AAA. But at the same time, somewhere along the way, they do want you to fail. We've talked about that. They want you to fail outside the limelight of Minneapolis, Altoona, Peoria, Cedar Rapids, Fort Wayne, wherever the Twins may have affiliates. But they certainly want him to get off to a good start. I did think, it's just me. I did think he got tired at the end of the year. I mean, I think he played every inning of every game. That's a lot. Now you're going to play every day. In college ball, it's, 4 or 5 times a week. But nonetheless, I do think his legs got a little weary at the end. That may have had something to do with a few too many errors. But, wishing Debo all the best. Here's the other thing. He has a first-round pick-ish, right, a compensatory pick. He's going to be given every chance. This is not where he's got to prove it because, he's like a 7th-round NFL pick. He's got to prove it, and he's got that chip on his shoulder because he's 5'9", and, he's well aware of his stature. But he will prove he belongs every day. And that was one of the great seasons that I've seen a Cajun have, right? I mean, Southern Miss, Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, right? Just kept on pitching to him. Like, what are we doing? You know, if the next guy hits a home run or a grand slam, so be it, but not this guy. You know, that when the, I don't want to say the cliche when the lights are the brightest, but when everybody is expecting you to get a hit and you get a hit, that's pretty cool. And in his case, a home run. So, now it's the grind time. We'll see where he is. We'll follow him from afar, but wishing Kyle DeBarge all the best. All right. It is episode 77 of the Schultze cast. I'm having in the car, but I'm having Wi-Fi issues loading Locked On Sunbelt. We sorted it south. We did South Alabama last night, but having all kinds of Wi-Fi issues. I'll see if I can get to a place that has better Wi-Fi, but just can't load it. It wouldn't upload it last night. It was worse this morning. I can't even transfer it to somebody, so we'll see if we can get that up there. The audio portion is. So they got some big holes to fill for South Alabama. Filling big holes is Allison Habetz. Trying to fill in her staff. That was finally announced Friday, I think. Maybe even Saturday. It was after I was done with the show. You know, they bring in, was it Shelby Sunsery from McNeese, formerly LSU. It's a great get. McNeese had, you know, one bad inning away from coming to Lafayette for the Super Regional, but other than that, she had him in good spots. You're right. She's, you know, really, you know, recent grad from LSU only a few years ago, right? Cajun fans remember her. LSU fans remember her. Lacey Prejean is back. Part of Jerry Glasgow's staff for a bit. Went to Northwestern State. That did not work out. And, I mean, Allison's got some young leadership with, you know, Carly Heath, and Shelly is still there. And then you get, and now you get Lacey is back providing the veteran leadership. So it's one heck of a staff. She's got a good mix of some really young players that are on, I don't want to say the level, but, you know, can communicate with today's players. And then, you know, she's a veteran and Lacey is a veteran and can be more, you know, mother figures, if you will, compared to big sister type of deal. And so we'll see. Got to get some girls in, right? All the girls that transferred out have, I believe, found homes. Brooke Elstead last weekend going to Alabama. That's a nice home. That's a pretty good job by Brooke. And a little bit of a surprise, Sam Landry ending up at OU. My goodness. Best of luck to her. You know, she's on the, you know, she's on the 4-time defending national champion. She's going to be pitching in some big games. We'll see where she fits in. And she's pitching in the SEC. So we'll see how that works out for her. But wishing her the best of luck. I presume she got a little NIL. It appears maybe that Stanford pitcher is going to end up back at Stanford or maybe Texas Tech. We'll see. Again, no shot at Texas Tech. But unless I guess you can go back and graduate. But again, I don't know how much money her family needs. I don't have any idea what her family's background is. Okay? None whatsoever. So I'm not going to presume anything based on anything, based on her wanting some money. But you would think you'd like to look at the big picture a little bit, right? This is not about getting drafted or pro ball. This is about the rest of her life. And with all due respect to Texas Tech, it's not Stanford, right? That you want the degree that says Stanford, not a short-term money grab that says Texas Tech. That, and there was a quarterback, I don't remember his name, STM, was going to Harvard. but then ended up going to La Tech because I think his dad wanted to watch him play football. That is, I guess, to each his own. That's not something that I would do. I appreciate wanting to watch your son, but that seems like a very short-term gain instead of long-term thinking. Like, William Bellamy is back, right? He went up north. He went to Union, and I was working for the Saints. He went totally, out of his comfort zone, and went up north to school, and he's been working in sales department. Was with Jacksonville, and now in the Saints. So he's back in New Orleans. Saw him with his boy Beggy, earlier in the year. So we'll see what happens. With the Cajuns got the staff going. They got to bring in some players. All the girls, can we remember them all? Victoria, Lauren, that's 2. Chloe, that's 3. Maya, that's 4. Brooke is 5, and Sam is 6. I think that's it, right? Am I missing one? I didn't think it was 7. I thought it was 6. I think I got that right. And again, Sam Landry going to OU that was a bombshell yesterday. I thought she may go to LSU, which certainly would have upset a bunch of people. But I'm surprised LSU didn't try, or maybe they did. I don't know. It is the Schulte cast. We got more people. We got one person listening from somewhere. I don't know. Again, I got to pay for this now for Eli. Again, that got to pay, which is not a bad idea by his part, but we'll see if I do this. Unfortunately, the Schulte cast may be coming to an end. I guess can say this if everybody's watching. We're basically hanging up the microphone. I'll do a social media post, but we'll keep on doing Lockdown Sunbelt for now. But I am moving on. I am missing media days. It kills me. I love media days. I love being around the rest of the media. All right. I love seeing people that you see once a year. Everybody's on the same page. This is very much different than, trying to get ridiculous interviews from the, Super Bowl, and they're selling something. You get the coaches, you get the players, you email all the SIDs, and they get back to you. And, I got Mark Stoops to do an upside down L for my brother or for my nephew. It's just having a little bit of fun, right? Not taking it too seriously. This is, the unofficial start of college football. SEC Media Days is this week. They had the draft yesterday in Dallas. The All-Star game is this week. It is Dallas is going to be a mob house. I'm sad that I am not there. That is absolutely true. Sad that I won't be in New Orleans for Sunbelt Media Days. I guess I can say it. It doesn't. I had a job offer that was withdrawn, and I don't know why. I could call and ask, and I probably will. I did that one time. I'm not going to go into all the details, but I had a job offer to do mornings in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we had agreed to terms. I came back from a visit. Obviously, I did not make a good impression because they pulled the offer. You can only have so much of a conniption when you're in Panera. So we moved on from that, and it's just a random thing. You got to send out a certain amount of applications. I did, and shockingly, someone responded. I applied to a bunch of jobs that I would say supremely qualified for, and never heard back. I applied for some jobs that I was not qualified for, but okay. I applied for plenty of jobs and, didn't hear back. This one, I have some customer service experience, and that's what they saw. I'm so shocked. And that was the first question, right? You want to ask good questions when you're getting interviewed. And why did you pick me? How did my resume stick out? Because you had to look at it, right? They do all that SEO and however they pick out resumes for human resources stuff. A little crazy. And I'm going to work at Jim Beam. I've told people, and finding a place to live in Louisville is a little bit of an issue. So also, Jim Beam from my brother's place is a good 45 minutes. Let me make sure I'm going the right way here. I think I gotta go south. That's a tough, as we would say, schlep every day. Not to mention expensive. So we're going to look to see if we can. Claremont is about 20 minutes south of the Highway 264. Bardstown is about 15 minutes further south, so that's where we're going to go look today. That's also the capital of the mini capital of Bourbon. We're going to try to glob onto a Heaven Hill tour, and then see if I can go find some places to live. I don't know if they sold out or not, but maybe they don't want people signing up, or maybe they just take walk-ups. I think I would be a little bit late anyways. We're not going on the interstate. I took a little bit of a different path, so we'll see how long this takes. 26 miles. What time is it? I'm not going to make the tour. All right. Oh, well, we're late. I'm going to go on another tour. Or not take a tour at all. Could just do that. But yeah, I am. The idea would be going back to Lafayette tomorrow. Now, I almost made it up here in one day. I can't imagine that's going to happen again. I would have driven from 8:30 to technically 11 with the time change. I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't slept particularly well on this trip, so we'll see. But I should be able to get up and go quicker tomorrow than I did packing up a bunch of bourbon, which I did bring up here. I brought up 110 bottles. If I can get back there on Tuesday, I can do a good job of packing the stuff that I can pack, but the movers are supposed to come Thursday. And if they come Thursday, can I go halfway on Thursday, like to Memphis? And then I can be up here Friday and maybe get the process going of locking down a place to live. If I don't do anything, we'll see. I wanted to be in Louisville, closer to my brother, a little bit closer to the action. Bardstown's pretty good. Shepherdsville is a small town just north of Claremont. I'm not sure anything's there, but that's only about 10 minutes away from where I work. So that would save time and money. So that's what we're doing. We did the bourbon tour of Jim Beam. And the young lady who did it was very good. She'd only been there 5.5 months. I got my work cut out for me to regurgitate what she said. So we're doing that. But I do miss the SEC media days. Seeing my locked on guys. Moscona will be there. Ryan Fowler with Tide 100.9 will be there. Kevin Trainer, like the associate AD for Arkansas. He always introduces everybody. You run into Billy Napier is there. I doubt Kane Womack will be there, but who would be there? Somebody from Florida, Shamar James, right? He played at Faith. I think I said Faith Hill, but Faith Academy in Mobile. I saw him play. It would be great to run into him. Hey, you were at, it wasn't too long ago. You were in, Mobile Preps. media days. Now you're doing SEC media days. And so it would be a shame. It's sad to miss that, but still going to do a little broadcasting, hopefully with Locked On. Having a regular job, 8 to 5. It's been a minute since that's been the case. And when I say regular, as a radio host and whatever else I had to do, I kind of ran my own day. As long as I got what I had to get done. So, like, if I needed to record a Locked On in the middle of the day, I could do that. Yeah, that's not going to happen now. Right? So all that will be done hopefully in the evening. I'll probably do a better job of mapping out. And so maybe I can record 2 or 3 in a day and have that ready to go. Like I wanted to last night, and I got a little lazy. So we'll see. Maybe I can record 2 today and have, honestly, the last thing I'm going to want to do is a Locked On Sunbelt Tuesday night. So I can, do a second one, and I got to do Troy. I haven't done Troy previewing. I guess we could do ULM. Done a lot of them, but Marshall. There's some we can do, plenty that we can do. But that's where I've been on the road in Louisville. Already have tickets to see Buddy Guy. I'm very excited about that. There was another Justin Timberlake is coming. There was another concert I wanted to see. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff going on. We got a 90th celebration since Prohibition, Jim Beam in August. There's the Bourbon Festival in Bardstown in August or in September. And then the next week is like Bourbon and Beyond, huge music festival in Louisville. So we'll see if we do some of that. I don't know how that's going to work with work and the music festival, how that all go about doing that. So we'll look forward to some of that. But it's been, a great run doing, 10 years of sports talk. We, set up 1037 The Game, now ESPN Southwest Louisiana, for success. They're carrying the torch. They're doing a good job switching their lineup today, right? Jordy's in the morning, so they're going local. I mean, they're going local more than we were, actually, right? They're 7 to 6. I mean, that's 11 hours of local programming. Dawson getting his own show. That's great. We had Jim Rome in the middle. Disappointed the way, I don't mind saying disappointed the way it went at 103.3. I would be interested to see what happens with that station. I know not the people that I was dealing with. Someone else is sort of overseeing the station, kind of like I was. And we'll see what they want to do. I was actually approached. Do I want to come back and sell my time? And I'm just going to appreciate the person who asked. That's kind of them to think of me, but that, I mean, the way it ended, and for you to come back, it wasn't somebody, that had anything to do with my demise, so to speak, but for you to come back and think that I would want to go back to that station after the way I was treated, I'm sorry, that was not going to happen. There is absolutely a trust issue with that. I would not put up with that at all. But it's always nice to be asked. And some of that goes to why, I was nervous about radio, right? I don't mind saying, really bitter and mad at myself for not trying to protect myself with what exactly happened in terms of corporate deciding that, they got to cut back. And because I didn't protect myself, I found myself, with issues. And I guess trying to protect myself with the station in Fayetteville, they didn't want that. I'll also say, it didn't feel like the station in Fayetteville wanted to compete. They kind of wanted to do the least amount possible. They didn't have an afternoon show. I suggested high school football. They poo-pooed that. They didn't want to send me to SEC Media Days. They just kind of wanted to have a nice morning show and play footsies with Arkansas, which is fine, right? That's why I was interested. For the first time, I would be talking SEC sports in an SEC town. I've always been kind of SEC adjacent, right? Although there's more LSU fans than Lafayette and Cajun fans. Sorry, Cajun fans. But I've always been in Lafayette, talking LSU, or Mobile, talking Auburn and Alabama. And so this would have been, I think, a good opportunity. And again, we had worked out terms. I was going to move up there at a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year option, their option, which I didn't care about. But I just didn't want to move up there and in 6 months someone pull the plug without them having to owe me money, basically. Disappointing that it didn't work out, but very, very excited about, and also in New Orleans, right? The best part is about seeing those, Sun Belt coaches again. We get to see Dez all the time. Seeing Major Applewhite with a smile on his face would have been nice. Charles Huff, Clay Helton, Sean Clark, all the, getting to meet Bob Chesney face to face and Coach Vincent, GJ Kinney. These guys have come on my show, right? And it's not a hard-hitting show, right? We don't necessarily call people out, right? We kind of, if we call anybody out, usually it's me, but we kind of pump it up. It's we're fans, right? That's what Lockdown is all about, giving my opinion on things, and not afraid to do that. But, it is, generally positive. And so it's always good to see those coaches, right? We get it's Sun Belt Media Days. We get all the coaches. It's a long day. Last year, I don't mind saying, it's either Kurt Signetti or Tim Beck. They were there when I got there at like 8 o'clock. They were there before 8 o'clock. My show is not till the afternoon, but I got to record a bunch of stuff. And, they were, maybe it was even Butch Jones. They were there when I was there, and then I was the last interview for them. They were on my show at like 5:30, 5:45. They're exhausted. I'm exhausted, which is really odd. I'm the first person to say, you wouldn't think sitting around talking sports all day is that exhausting. It is. You're talking all day. Throw in a little alcohol, and you end up sleeping well. But it's absolutely a rush. Seeing everybody from ESPN, and you see these guys. Was it JD Piquel, and Josh Pate, Jay Crane, right? Seeing these guys that have kind of made something out of nothing. It's not like Josh Pate replaced the show, right? Jay Crane's never had a radio show. Jay Crane was doing this out of his basement. Literally was your cliche, YouTuber. And, now has a daily show in Nashville with his brother and good friend. So it would have been great to see them. Again, my guy Zach Blackerby with Lockdown and Lockdown Auburn, and the Auburn guys, and the 1033 is there. I think RP3, Dawson, and Mesh are there. So, and I think they're there for 3 out of the 4 days. Again, the station in Fayetteville just wasn't a priority. Kind of odd. The guy I was replacing is a Syracuse guy. I didn't go to Syracuse, but I was known as a Syracuse guy talking SEC sports in the South. I didn't know this. Ty Richardson from ESPN Radio Fayetteville would have been, my competition, literally. He does mornings over there, does a great job. But the reason I know Ty is because Ty's been going to SEC Media Days, I'd say since 19. We didn't have one in 20. I didn't go in 19 because I was in between jobs. But I was there in 21 doing the morning show. We were in Hoover. He was there, right? He's there in 22 in Atlanta. There last year in Nashville, right? They're there. These guys are there. And it's great you see them. Now, I'm not going to call out names, but some guys have become, guys who used to come on my show don't anymore. Why, I don't know. They got other obligations, I guess. But nonetheless, it's nice to see the guys who have made it, right? You can read, I think Peter Burns's, story is still pinned to his Twitter handle, right? I don't know if he got fired and then his girlfriend or wife left him, and then, they wanted to put him on TV, and he's like, okay. And he's got movie star looks, but no one had thought about that before. So, seeing guys like that, Nate Bargatze just walked right past us last year. That was out of nowhere. I'm sure we'll see who's there. And again, wouldn't be surprised to see, does Paul Skeens go to the SEC Media Days today? To walk around, he gets is Wyatt Langford going on with our guy Frank Frangie. They got their stuff. They got the home run derby tonight, but probably some BP and media obligations. But they can go and just walk into SEC Media Days, and no one's going to say boo. Probably. So I am going to miss that, and again miss the Sunbelt Media Days where we get everybody, and you see all the Kara Ritchie and Matt Stoltz from Arkansas State, and Dave from JMU does a great job. Dave Reigert. The Thundercast guys are there, Coastal guys, ULM guys. It's going to be sad that I'm not there. This is how it all started. It was Sunbelt Media Days a couple years ago, and I crashed the Sazerac party. I ended up tasting the BTAC line, and I'm like, I haven't been this excited in a long time. I get jacked to go to the Sugar Bowl. Heck, I get jacked doing a Saraland Theodore High School football game. So I still get a kick out of all of it. I hadn't gotten a kick out of this in a long time. To be able to experience something that I know the only way I'm going to get a bottle is if I win a lottery or a raffle. Got to be completely lucky. And I want to provide that kind of experience to other people. I did the Jim Beam tour. It was outstanding. Rather entry level, which you would expect. All right. We tasted, let's see if we can remember, Jim Beam, the white label. We did Jim Beam Black, which is now a Jim Beam 7-year. We did a Knob Creek regular, and I think I took a Knob Creek rye. I also got a Knob Creek 9-year single barrel. Got the bottle in gray. Looking forward to providing those kind of experiences to others and seeing their face light up. And it's pretty cool, right? You got to see, we didn't see all of it because some of the buildings were in the midst of being cleaned, but still pretty neat. I'm looking forward to doing that. So if you are on the Bourbon Trail, be sure to hit me up at Jim Beam. All right. I'm taking the back roads, which is nice. Usually you would see some horse farms here, but I guess not. So I guess not. NCAA football's coming out, which is hilarious. I can't imagine that EA Sports is not at SEC Media Days. Wouldn't you? Not that they need it, right? Because all of the beat reporters, are doing their promotional for them, and all the players are doing their promotionals for them. But wouldn't you want like an EA Sports, PS5 station where the guys are playing for 5 or 10 minutes? But don't make no mistake about it. I said Sunbelt, the SEC, the players are there all day too, so they get into the grind, and these guys are asked the same question after same question. So it's a good job by the players that are there. So we are hanging up the microphone for now and for the foreseeable future. So again, looking forward to keeping on doing Lockdown Sunbelt because I like doing it. But I have bad Wi-Fi. We'll see if Heaven Hill has better Wi-Fi where I can, glob onto that and see if I can post the video version of my show. I think we just lost that. Oh, the phone got too hot. Oh, goodness. No. Are we still on? The phone, I'm sorry, I'm going to hang up. Are we still on? The phone got too hot. It's in the sun. So temperature-wise, the phone is down. I just grabbed it. So, all right, we'll let you guys go. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know where we're tuning in because Twitter's not working. I got to pay Elon Musk to join the stream. Although that's how billionaires become billionaires. They don't want you promoting your thing without them getting a little bit of coining. I can't blame him for doing that. All right, everybody have a good day. Coming back to Lafayette tomorrow, as I'm guessing passing on the back end of Jim Beam right now. All right. What time is it? Oh, yeah. Those black buildings give it away. All right, everybody have a great day. Thanks very much for tuning in. I'll probably do another one tomorrow. Looks like it's the back end of Jim Beam. Well, maybe not. Well, let me see. Let's see what it says here. Did I just miss the Heaven Hill Distillery? What'd I do? All right. I don't know if I can turn around. Maybe not. I think I got to go to Bardstown. But that was Heaven Hill. The rec houses were back there. All right. I didn't see that one coming. We'll try to have another show tomorrow while I'm hitting the road. So we'll see what the reaction is to Debo and what we saw what the reaction was. We'll see where he expects to go if he's heard from them and how long it takes before he signs. I presume that's not going to be very long. All right. Everybody have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll try talking tomorrow. Bye.